In today's session, we are going to create a very simple application using Flutter. So for that, Control Shift P is a short key to open this dialog where you can write down Flutter and new application project. As soon as we do this new application project, we need to choose a folder location where this project will be created. So I'm going to choose that. So I have selected this cross-stream mobile application which we are going to create. We created this folder and we are giving its name as grocery mobile application. We can use underscore as a separator, and this project has to be in lowercase, and then okay. So when we do this, it basically takes some time and loads necessary files which are required to run this. So sometimes if it is already set up, it takes around few seconds, but if it is for the first time, it may take up to a minute or so. So as you can see that the project is started loading in here. This is the main.file file, very similar to main class in Java. And then there are some of the tools that we need to look at, some of the folders in here, like Android is the folder for native code in Android. Similarly, iOS folder is dedicated for native code in iOS. So basically what happens when we are building something in lib folder and in the Dart mode, as soon as it compiles, it creates native version on Android and iOS both. Then as we talked about, lib is the main folder containing Dart code written using Flutter framework. Main.dart is your entry point for the Flutter application. Test folder containing Dart code to test the Flutter application, whereas this widget test.jar, this is the Dart package, Dart file for sample code written into testing. Now git ignore, this is a git version control file. Dot metadata, auto generated by the Flutter tools. Dot packages, auto generated to track the Flutter packages. Dot, then this is important, pubsec.yaml. This is used by pub Flutter package manager, and in here if you will see that it talks about some of the dependencies. It's auto generated project code. It is with Flutter, then Cupertino icons, dev dependencies with Flutter, and then the SDK dependencies. So this is going to be very similar like your package.json in your Angular project, or if we talk about any Java Spring Boot project. So we have this pom.xml, so which talks about the dependencies. As soon as we add something in here, it automatically downloads all the dependencies, and then readme.md file, project description file written in markdown format. So this is again project description related. And pubsec.log, auto generated by the Flutter package manager for pub related thing, but mostly you will be using pubsec.yaml along with the code written in lib. But when you're going to deploy, you will also be doing some certain changes in Android and iOS version of it, but most of the development should be able to control through the lib and this main.dart. Now let's run this application, and this will be more like your hello world, where what we are saying that we have imported material.dart, the package required for running material application in Flutter, and this code is called written in Dart. This is your main method, which is actually calling another method, run app, and in run application we are actually calling this class, which is a my application, which is an extension of stateless widget. We will cover what is a stateless and a stateful widget in detail, but let's have a look how the application looks like. So in run, we chose the option run without debugging, so it will open up emulator that we configured on Android, and as you can see that it is launching main.dart on Chrome in the debug mode. It opens a couple of things when the application runs. One is the emulator, which shows the application, whereas the second thing for tracking and for debug, it opens as an Explorer, which is really helpful when your application, how the CPU usage and other layout related thing, it's really helpful. So as you can see that this has launched. We will change the code and the settings to open it on the emulator as well. But since Flutter 2.0 provides you the web support as well, so as you can see that this has launched on the web version of it. And this is Flutter demo home application, where we have one action button here, which is an incremental way of, when we click on this, it will be incrementing basis on number of action taken. So this is the action and this is the incremental thing that been here. And now what I was talking about, it provides you the widget mode along with what number of widget tree it creates. So as we know, like the root is calling this my application, and which is in turn is calling material application, and that is opening a my home page under which scaffold, center, column, text, app bar. This is your app bar. And then we have the floating action button where the icon is for incremental this thing. So it provides you a decent widget tree to understand the hierarchy of component, and then how the application can be launched with some basic functionality in here. So I hope you are able to create this. Let me know if you face any challenges. We will be doing more configuration on this application in the next session, so stay tuned. Thank you.